Hello friends and welcome back. So today we will understand about RPO and RTO, that is recovery point objective and recovery time objective, which are two important pillars of business continuity and disaster recovery. RPO and RTO are key elements of backup and disaster recovery plan which enable an organization to know how much data it can lose and how long it can be down. Imagine you have a business which comes to halt due to power outage, cyber attack or natural disaster. Customers can't access your business online store, financial transactions freeze, and critical operations are on hold. The impact can be huge on your business, and this is where business continuity and disaster recovery planning comes in. And RPO and RTO are two crucial elements of business continuity and disaster recovery plan. So let's understand about this concept more into details. What is RTO? RTO stands for Recovery Time Objective, and it defines the maximum acceptable downtime for a business process or a system after a disruption. In simple terms, it's a duration within which your business needs to be restored to prevent loss or damage to the organization. For example, a retail website with an RTO of 2 hours aim to restore its online platform within 2 hours of any outage. If the disruption occurs at 8 am in the morning, the website must be fully operational again by 10 am in the morning as per the RTO to minimize revenue loss and maintain customer satisfaction. And every minute beyond 10 am signifies lost sales and a potential blow to customer satisfaction. A shorter RTO means faster recovery, but it often comes at a higher cost because for faster recovery you require resources like redundant systems, available backups and well-trained personnel, and naturally implementing these measures increases your budget, right? RPO stands for Recovery Point Objective. It defines the acceptable amount of data loss in the event of disruption. It means the maximum age of files that must be recovered from backup storage for normal operations to resume. Let's take an example. Suppose there is a manufacturing company with an RPO of 15 minutes. It ensures that its backup systems capture data snapshot every 15 minutes. So, in the event of a disruption at 8 am, the organization can recover data up to 7:45 am. Minimizing potential data loss and maintaining continuity of operations. RPO reflects the amount of data that can be lost without causing significant harm to the business, and a tight RPO means more frequent backups to minimize data loss. Suppose if you have kept the RPO of 5 minutes, you need to backup frequently in every 5 minutes, right? And this can involve expensive technologies like continuous data replication, right? RPO and RTO are calculated through a business impact analysis. So, business impact analysis identifies your organization's critical business processes and analyze their tolerance for downtime and what will be the acceptable data loss. How organizations do business impact analysis and how they prepare BIA document, that is altogether a separate topic which we can discuss in a separate video. Risk analysis can also provide valuable insights into potential threats and their impact, helping to refine RPO and RTO targets. In determining RTO and RPO targets, key stakeholders from different departments comes together to assign numerical values to desired recovery times and acceptable data loss. I have made a detailed video on risk analysis and risk assessment which you can go and watch for better understanding. So now we have discussed about RPO and RTO. So there is another term which is used in disaster recovery planning, that is MTD, which stands for Maximum Tolerable Downtime. As the name suggests, it represents the absolute maximum amount of time your business can function without critical systems or data being available before experiencing unacceptable consequences. Meaning that after MTD, your businesses will suffer unacceptable consequences. And how is it different from RTO? MTD defines the overall acceptable limit for downtime tolerance, while RTO defines how quickly you need to restore critical systems to minimize the impact of downtime and stay within the MTD limit. Let's take an example. Suppose there is a company conducting online auctions. It might have a maximum tolerable downtime of 4 hours. This signifies that beyond 4 hours of downtime, the business would face significant revenue loss due to cancelled auctions. Within this 4 hour of maximum tolerable downtime, the RTO for their auction platform might be set to 2 hours. This means the company prioritizes restoring the auction platform within 2 hours to minimize lost revenue opportunities, right? I hope you have understood what is MTD and how it is different from RTO. What is relationship between RPO, RTO and cost? There is inverse relationship between RTO, RPO and cost. Faster recovery and minimal data loss are highly desirable, but achieving them requires significant investment in infrastructure, technology and training. Businesses should conduct thorough research to find the optimal balance between desired recovery goals and achievable costs based on their resources. What are some best practices for RTO and RPO? Identify your most critical business processes and prioritize them based on their impact on revenue, customer service, and compliance. Set stricter RTO and RPO targets for these systems. Different data categories might have different recovery needs. Implement tiered RPO and RTO based on data sensitivity and criticality. Regularly review and update your business continuity and disaster recovery plan, including RTO and RPO targets, to ensure that they remain relevant and effective, since the business landscape and threat environment are constantly evolving. How to achieve your desired RTO and RPO targets. Different disaster recovery solutions can help you achieve your desired RTO and RPO targets. Cloud-based backups offer a cost-effective and scalable solution for data protection. Replication technologies keep copies of your data constantly synchronized at a secondary location, which enables faster failover in case of a disaster. Hot and warm sites provide instant recovery for critical applications. So a hot site is essentially a mirror image of your primary site, and data is constantly replicated to the hot site, which ensures minimal downtime during a disaster. While warm site provides essential infrastructure like power, cooling, network connectivity, but typically it lacks pre-configured servers and applications. So data backups might be readily available at warm site, but these would need to be restored to servers before operations can resume. So these are some of the disaster recovery solutions which can help you achieve your desired RPO and RTO targets. I hope you have learned something new. If you found this video insightful, please share it with your friends, like and subscribe. I will see you with another topic, another video soon. Till then, take care, bye bye. Consider joining me on LinkedIn. Thank you.